Assalamu alaikum and hi everyone again. We continue with our lessons of phonetics for second year level and syllabus. And today we continue also with intonation. Intonation, but this time we'll try to relate it to what we call tone units. We'll try to explore and highlight the relationship between intonation and tone units. Right. Now, as you know, when we speak in English, we break up our speech into what we call tone units or tone groups. Now, what do we mean by a tone unit? A tone unit is a group of words, which form a distinctive semantic unit in an utterance. Right, in an utterance. Now, when we speak, we break up our speech into, as you know, tone units because we need to breathe. We need to think, right, and also to construct the cognitive and semantic units of our speech. Now, these units are called tone units, right. Also, while we are speaking one tone unit, of course, here we prepare also for the next one. That's why you find, certain pauses between our tone units. Clear? And every tone unit carries or delivers one idea or one piece of information. Right, of information. Now, what is the link between these tone units in our speech and intonation? In fact, intonation is carried within a tone unit. And the focus of a sentence is usually, within these tone units, focus is usually on the last major word of a sentence, of an utterance. Clear? It means usually in these our utterances as well as in our tone units, the focus, and the accent is usually on the last major word. Clear? Which is usually a content word in this sentence or utterance. Now, this word, which usually comes at the end of an utterance, carries an extra stress, which is called the intonational accent, right? And also the stressed syllable, which includes this extra stress, is called tonic syllable or nucleus. Clear? This in this major last word, content word of our utterance, we find a stressed syllable, right? And this stressed syllable is called tonic syllable or nucleus, right? And it is obligatory. We have to find it in any utterance or tone unit, and it is the focal point in our utterance as well as in our speech within this tone unit. Clear? This tone unit, right? Example. I have example you. As one syllable utterance, alone, you. So here, you consists of one syllable, and it is, as it's alone here, in this case, it is carrying stress, intonational accent and stress, and it is our tonic syllable or nucleus. Now, in case I have is it you? So here, the tone unit is it you contains the last word you, which is usually the word which contains and carries the extra stress. Clear? Extra stress, and you, as it carries extra stress, it is also considered as tonic syllable. Tonic syllable or our nucleus of this tone unit and this short utterance. Also, we have an example which is give me those. Give me those. So, at the end of this utterance tone unit, I have those. Also, those carries the extra stress and the intonational stress. Clear? Because the intonation usually comes at the end of the sentence, utterance. Clear? And those also contains this extra stress. That's why it is considered as the tonic syllable of this tone unit. Clear? Now, the main function of a tone unit is that it realizes semantically one piece of information. when we break our speech into tone units, every tone unit contains and conveys a piece of information. Only one idea. Clear? One idea. Right. Good. Now, this tone unit also has 4 parts. Clear? Phoneticians divide it into 4 parts. Right. The first part is called the prehead. The prehead. Here, prehead represents all the initial, right, and stressed syllables before the head. Before the head. Right, before the head. For example, I have in an hour. In an hour. Now, hour is carrying the extra stress, so it is my tonic syllable. And in an, both preposition and also article, they are unstressed. So these represent the prehead. So in this case, there is no head. Another example, which includes the head between nucleus and the prehead, in a little less than an hour. In a little less than an hour. So I have hour is my tonic syllable. Right. I have little adjective, which carries here little, which is stressed adjective. Less than an, little less than an is the head. Clear? Is the head. We'll know later what the head means. Clear? And inner is, we have here preposition also, and a article. They are unstressed. They are the prehead. Clear? The prehead, which comes before the head, little less than. Clear? An. Good. The second part of a tone unit is called the head. The head represents all the syllables between the prehead and the nucleus. Clear? The prehead and the nucleus, mean tonic syllable. Right. Example, as we saw before, or another example, for example, I have give me those. Give me those. So here I have those is tonic syllable. Now, here give is stressed, verb stressed, and give me represents my head, my head. Also in the example, for example, which is in a little less than an hour. Hour is my tonic syllable, and at the beginning I have inner unstressed, two unstressed elements, the preposition and the article, and little less than an. This represents my head. It is located, as you see here, between our tonic syllable, nucleus, and in a, my prehead. It is between the prehead and the tonic syllable. Just as a remark, if there is no stressed syllable before the nucleus, there will be no head. So the head usually contains at least one stressed syllable. Clear? Stressed syllable before the tonic syllable to consider it as a head. Clear? And what comes before the stressed syllable, usually, initially, is called the prehead. Right. Good. Now the third part, which is the two parts, prehead and head, are optional. They may exist and they may not. Right. Like in you. First instance, in you, we said it's only tonic syllable alone, without neither prehead, nor head, nor tail. It's alone. Clear? Now, the nucleus is the central part in a tone unit. It is a tonic syllable. And the main accented syllable in a tone unit. That's why it's compulsory. Any tone unit must contain and consist of a nucleus or tonic syllable. Sometimes it is accompanied by prehead, head, and tail. Sometimes by only prehead, sometimes only by head, and so on. But nucleus must exist in any tone group or tone unit because it carries the accent and the stress. Clear? Which is the focus, right, of the intonation too. Good. The fourth part is what we call the tail. The tail represents all the syllables after the nucleus, which come after the nucleus, right, are called the tail. right. For example, I have look at it. Look. Here is my tonic syllable. At it. At preposition it, pronoun. These two elements represent my tail. My tail. Because they come after the tonic syllable look. Also, I might buy it. Right, I might buy it. So here, might is my tonic syllable. And before it, I have I as a head, clear as my head. And after it, I have by it. Two syllables, by it, represent my tail. My tail. So, knowing tone units is very important because it helps us, understand the focal point of intonation, clear, of intonation, and we know that intonation is carried within this tone unit, and maybe the accented syllable, or tone syllable is, as we said before, usually the last word within an utterance, which is usually a content word. Okay, good. So that's all for this important notion, which is, or element in our utterances and in our speech, which is tone unit or tone group. Thank you so much.